Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Like, comment, and subscribe, baby. All right. What's up? What's up? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Yeah. We are chopping some Masada exclusives. Now, this has not came out yet. Um, but it's coming out really soon. So shout out to my man Masada MPC for hooking the brother up and let me get a first look at this new joint that he dropping. So the name of it is called. Dun, 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 let me find it really quick. Like it's called the Masada Breakbeat Volume One Soul Blueprint. And so in this breakbeat pack, it has a whole bunch of Masada specialized break beats and samples. So what I decided to do today was I was going to get on here in the morning and work on MPC, but I kind of changed my mind on the MPC. So I think that I want to work on the push 3 today. Um let's I won't be able to move my camera to show the push 3 because it's on the other side. So I won't do that. So what we'll do is we'll take my big camera that's in front and we'll position it down so you can kind of see the desk a little bit. Hopefully y'all can see it. So I hope y'all having a good day. Just getting started for me. I got a lot of good stuff coming for y'all. There is a couple things in motion that y'all won't see right off the bat, but you will get to see it later on today. All right, so you only get to see a little bit of the push 3 and my head is gonna be chopped off, but at least you can kind of see me moving my fingers. But anyway, I was testing this out. Matter of fact, it may be good to show you my screen. So let's do that. Let's show you my screen. Share my screen so you can kind of see what we're working with. All right, so this will kind of take some of the emphasis off of my big head. All right, so pretty much what I've been doing differently on Ableton, right? Let's go through Ableton real quick. Like, what I've been doing differently in Ableton is that you got two screens, right? You have the session mode and you have arranger mode. So this is your arranger mode where you can in a linear fashion go through and put your samples into the linear track, and then you can actually record into each track. And then on the session mode, you're able to go in and do your ideas, such as, like, let's say you wanted an 8-bar loop of a drum pattern. You can put that here. So let's do that. Let's work on. Let's add that sound right there. And let me mute all of my other stuff really quick so y'all won't hear what I've done so far. So what I did, again, I said I was testing it. So I got a little bit ahead of myself and started working on a little bit of the track. So let's go back to the session mode. And what I have in session mode is I have a little bit of a template going on. I got some risers, I got some transients, I got the rain sound, so forth and so on. And then I have my beat drop that I brought in, and that stays on every track. And then I also have it labeled as well. So when I'm working in the actual track, I can kind of see where my verse is going to be, even though I can hear it in my I can hear it when I'm going through the beat. I still kind of get an idea of where I'm at. So let me tell y'all about what I've been doing differently on Ableton that I feel like it's probably a detriment to me working in Ableton. So what I found just by looking at demos of other people working in Ableton is that they go into the session mode and they arrange their song in the session mode. And so pretty much what they do is they go here to the main, and so what they do is they make lane 1, they make it the intro, and then lane 2 they make that the verse. So opposite of what I was doing on a arranger view, this is what they do on the actual session view. All right, so and then I had my hook third, then I had my hook B. Sorry, I keep hitting the space bar, which is play. Hook B, and then an outro. So pretty much working in this manner makes you think how you're going to arrange your song. All right, so pretty much what happens is in the intro, what we do in the intro, you'd have to think about what it is that you want to do in your project. So in the intro, let's say you just wanted to have your sample come in. So you'd bring out any drums and you'd move them out of the way so that you'd only have your sample coming into the intro, which is going to be track 1. Then in track 2, then you come in and you bring your verse, which you'd bring in, what other elements that you'd have inside your verse, which would be your samples and all that stuff, or whatever. However you think to arrange it, you'd work it that way. So if we were to play it, let's see what it sounds like if we were to play it. And that's because, let's pause that really quick. That's because when you look at the actual session mode, everything is muted and you only have the stuff that I didn't want you to hear. And so let's try it again. All right, so then in lane 2, which would be your verse. Now this is a different way of working in it than I was working in it before, because previously, and what you could do, you can actually go into the first one and hit duplicate and duplicate it, and it'll bring it down to the next thing. So let's play row 2. And from the push, you can actually go to the layout of the push. So now I'll go into this 212 kit where I loaded these open hi-hats, and what I do is I'll cut those hi-hats down. So we go into the mixer, and since it's the only drum track in there, I'll just cut the whole joint down. So pretty much when you do that is now you kind of like land. It's kind of like, it's almost like the force, where you are able to do your you're able to manipulate it, but the force is just much easier, in my opinion. And maybe it's because this is a new way of working for me, and Ableton is, it's slow for me, but I'm much faster in the force. But anyway, enough about the Kai force. But how I normally would work. So now that we're here, normally what I do is I'd arrange everything. I'd record everything and arrange everything inside the arranger view. So instead of going to that sessions mode and doing what I just did, I'd actually record my drum patterns by 8 bars in each part of the session. So um, looks like I got something. Oh, there we go. Um, but what you can do is, um, you go back to the actual um, song mode, and you can actually record everything from the arranger view from the push. So let's say, for instance, let's do our intro and then a verse. So we're gonna hit record. And now the hook would come in right there. So I didn't really want to do it that way, but just for the sake of the video, so you can see what I just did. Now I just took everything that I created in the session mode, and I recorded it live into the arranger mode. So now, instead of me having to go in piece by piece and making each part piece by piece, I can just bring it in from the other. It's still the same workflow. You're just doing it in 2 different windows. And so that's another way that you can arrange inside of Ableton. And so that's what I was missing. I was missing because I couldn't figure out for the life of me how to actually arrange it, which one. And I was told, the advice that I was given to me was just do everything in the arranger mode. But the problem, well, not the problem, but what you miss out by doing it in arranger mode is that um, you miss out on the features that you have in working in the actual putting it together in the session mode. But again, like I said, another thing that you got to think about too is what you want to have inside of your track. So you got to think ahead and be forward thinking of the sounds that you want, and you want to lay them all out in the screen. So previously, before, like I told you, I had transients, intros, hiss record, the sound like a cassette, all those different things already in there. But now that you want to make a instrument, now I have to come in and add a MIDI instrument. So let's do that. Let's add a MIDI instrument. Let's go to plugins. Let's go to instruments. Let's go to electric. I like that. I think that's what I want to have in the hook. So, and it just makes you to have to think a little bit about what you got. But So what we do is we copy. Actually, we just duplicate. Dun, dun, dun. And come over and we'll bring our drum kit down. And instead of that, the hi-hat in there, we'll bring the hi-hat out. And so what we do is, now that we got that, I don't know how that sounds with the sample, so we'll listen to it. And that is the wrong part of the sample. So let's go back. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so let's go to the sample. All right, so, oh, we got 2 in there, that's why. Delete. All right, now let's go back. Alright, so let's go to, because that ain't right either. See, that's right. I like that sound, but it don't go with the sample. So it would be nice to, let's see if I can go in it and see what the actual key is. Library of Beats, what's going on? He says, I have to get into Ableton. I think I have the light version of 12 that came with my Arturia MK288 keyboard. Man, Ableton is very, very, very powerful. It really sounds really, really good. Like, I noticed within the first month of working with Ableton, and I was working on like remixes and stuff, like the vocalization inside of Ableton just sounds really, really, really good. When you're working with vocals and you're working with just the quality of the sound, and it sounds really, really good. Okay, I think that might work. right, so now we got the hook done. Now I can go in and I can lay the hook in. So we know the hook is going to start here. And so what we'll do is we'll play it, and then we'll go to where our hook is going to play. Now the verse is going to come back in. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, look. Now, what I was trying to do was mute that portion. So I'm just going to bring it out manually. And then we're going to come back and bring the verse back again. So another easy way that you can do too, instead of recording it in real time, you can take it and you can actually um, move it yourself in real time. So what I did, I just copied the drums and brought it over, so it bring back in the what's his name again. Um, you just got to know where you are in your track. When you're doing that. So, and like I said, my notes on the top is wrong because it's based off of the BPM of another song, and so it's pulled out a little bit further than it should be. So the verse and the verses and the intros and all that stuff starts a little bit off of where it's supposed to. So, but you can move those markers and stuff around, just like I just did just now, and make it how you want it to be. And then so that was the hook. That was the verse. Dun, 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 dun. And we won't have a verse 3 on this, but it would start right there. But all right, so cool. So now we got it all together. Let's make sure all of our stuff is here. So we got our intro is going to be here, intro drop, which I don't see. I know I heard it, but I don't see it. So what we'll do is we'll drop that intro back in there. So we'll go to desktop and we'll go to drops. And we'll make sure it comes in right before the intro finishes. All right. Shout out to my man Masada MPC for this freaking this dope ass drop that he just dropped with these samples coming out soon. Again, as I said earlier, let's see what the name of it is again. Dun, 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 dun. Masada Breakbeat Volume 1 Soul Blueprint is the name of it. So y'all see that coming out in the next couple days. Y'all go and cop that. It's pretty dope. And yeah, that's where I got one of the samples from that I'm working on this track. So decided to jump in Ableton on the Push 3 and work out some of the stuff on the Push 3. So yeah, so here we go. What I'll do is, because I am thinking that the hook needs some vocals in it, some different vocals. So what I'll do is I'll come in, we'll add the MIDI track. Let's add a new MIDI track. Let's go to our oh, those are all beats. That's a Zaytoven.
Beats Baron.
Got some shit in there. I want to play all of my samples. All right, let's go to plugins. Let's go to our thing we know to get things popping. I did see something. I don't know if y'all saw this, but I did see something that Arcade has a sampler function inside of it where you can actually bring your samples into Arcade, and it chops your samples in Arcade just like you would have on Serato Sampler. So I don't know if y'all saw that or not, but I think that that would be dope. I have to find it. All right, so
all you gotta do is all you gotta do. I told you, I got you. I told you, I told you, I told you. It's up to you.
So not that one, but we're getting close. Just testing some sounds out. Oh, that sounds like somebody singing. Gotcha. All right. Oh, I like that. Oh yeah, we're gonna put that right there. All right. Damn it. All right. So where are we at? We want to be right before the hook. All right, cool. So now we got that in. All we gotta do is copy it and move it over to the next part of the hook and paste it. And that'll be it. So let's because we're going to not need all the rest of those risers, we'll move those over. And we're gonna have another one over here, so we'll move that one over. That one will go there. And then we'll go ahead and, since we're going to chop it right there, we'll split. And we'll delete that. And we'll keep one last one on the end. Delete. Delete. And we'll bring that right on the end to bring the song out. So let's see what Alright, cool. Alright, so what that was the actual. So what we'll do is we'll split this part of the sample and we'll duplicate it and bring it over. Oh shit. Undo. Undo, delete. Duplicate. Alright, let's see what it sounds like now. Alright, so that one is not right. We gotta find where the right part of the sample is. And what I can do while we're here for sake of video, because we are here, what I can do is I can go back in and sample and replay the sample again. So let's go. Let's unmute. 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 All right, cool, cool, cool. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let's pause. All right. So you can, like I said earlier, when you're working in the session view, you'll put everything together like you want it, and then you can play it inside the arranger view. But once you got enough of the arranger done, then you don't even have to go in and mess with a lot of that stuff again. You can just use what you got already in the track. So let's all right. So oh, I got you. Just that one. All right. So let's make sure that comes in right as that ends. All right, cool. And let's save it. Woo! Save live set as let's name this learn 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 chop one. So we'll change that to Ableton project, save. And I mean, really, truly, Ableton is not as difficult as it's portrayed sometimes, but it is a little bit complex. However, once you understand what's happening, then it kind of makes it a little bit easier to work with. But anyway, um, that's how I work in Ableton. Now, again, a lot of times I don't like to work inside Ableton because I am slow in Ableton, and I like to get to the beats a lot faster than it's taking me to make a beat in Ableton because I'm slowly putting the pieces together. But we all know Rome wasn't built in a day, but that's just not the way I typically work. But I will tell y'all before I go, the Ableton updates that they just came out with is so dope, really dope. They've fixed the song mode, so now you have the song mode available on the actual standalone machine, and now you can actually build your song just like we just built in Ableton. You can build your song, and you can use it from your actual controller or standalone. So that is dope. They've also included inside. Let's see if I'm gonna be able to show it. Oh yeah. Let's see. Let's bring my camera down. Bring my camera down real quick, like and show y'all. Da, 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 da. All right, let's see if I can bring it back this way. Yeah, and it's probably not gonna focus, but now inside of Ableton, inside the big screen, now you actually have video imagery to show you how to do certain things and tips and tricks on Ableton. So it pretty much gives you a guide, like a how to do certain things inside of Ableton right on the screen. So if y'all can't see it, but it is in color, it's in video. It has pictures and all that stuff to show you like how to get from A to B, how to do this, that, and the other. So that is really dope. That's something that I enjoy about the updates today coming out with Ableton. And I wish they really would have had it done in the beginning, but hey, better late than never. But anyway, again, thank you all for joining Thank you, Library of Beats. Thank you, Blatantly Blatant Network, Civil Days, Sun Civil Media, DC Carson, Beats in Bed. I appreciate all y'all. Thank y'all. And I'll catch y'all on the next stream, on the next video. Got something coming for y'all next. Got something coming. Appreciate it. And if you haven't done so already, like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, and let's see who will be the subscriber of the month or subscriber of the week this week for the community. All right, peace out, y'all.